So you want to stop procrastinating. Just a couple years ago, I was a massive procrastinator. Trust me, I know how it feels. But luckily for you, there is a solution. This is the last video you'll ever need to watch on procrastination. So here's what's going to happen. First, I'm going to unveil the real reason behind why you procrastinate. And then I'm going to share with you a step-by-step actionable plan that you can execute on literally today, right after you watch this video, to finally get to work, make your dreams come true, and never procrastinate ever again. If you're ready, grab a piece of paper and a notebook, and I really invite you to take some notes, because this advice is absolute gold. It's what's allowed me to overcome my social anxiety, to build a profitable online business, to travel around the world, to learn English and Spanish all on my own, and to find a loving and caring partner. So least to say that this is powerful. Now the truth is that typically there are two main reasons why people procrastinate. You might be thinking that the reason why you procrastinate, why you can't get yourself to do the work, it's because you are deeply flawed as an individual. Like for some reason, you have some kind of inferior willpower. You see those people getting up at 5 a.m, going to the gym, eating a healthy breakfast, working 8 hours a day, 10 hours a day, sometimes even on the weekends, and you just wonder how they do it. How can they stay so disciplined? Do they have more willpower than me? Are they some kind of superhuman? Well, you see, that's far from being the case. And in reality, if you wanted to, this could be you. The first reason why a lot of people procrastinate, it's because they're not deeply connected to a reason why they do the work. When I was still in school, like even just middle school, high school, I hated it. I would never do my homework, and the teachers were aware of it. It's not like I was even hiding it, because from a very young age, I had always known I wouldn't go to university and I would just start a business right ahead, right after I finished high school. So for me, all the stuff that they pushed onto us, that they tried to teach us, it made no sense. And if you take a closer look, 99% of what they teach you in schools, most people will never actually use those things later on in life. But for some reason, everyone seems to be fine with wasting 18 precious years of their lives, getting massively in debt to then maybe not even get a job. The reason why I'm telling you this is because if you don't have a strong enough reason why you're doing things, the truth is you won't be able to force yourself every single time to do it. Like if I told you, okay, I'm going to put a button in front of you and you need to press on that button for 50 hours straight. Now, of course, it's a weird request. I mean, no one's ever asked you this before. So naturally you would ask me, well, why should I do this? What's the point? And if I tell you, there's no point, just do it because I said so, would you actually do it? Especially if there's no reward for you, if there's nothing in it for you? You'd be crazy to agree and to just press that button for 50 hours straight. Yet you get angry at yourself and you blame yourself when you can't force yourself to do the work, but you're essentially trying to tell yourself to push a button for 50 hours straight for no reason to do it. And at the same time, you expect yourself to do the work, but if you don't have a strong enough reason why you're doing it, you simply won't. And now when you're hearing this, you might think, but I have a reason why I'm doing things. Like I know why I get up every morning and why I sit down at my desk and do the work. But let me ask you this question. Really? We see this every time before the New Year's approaches. A lot of people say, I'm gonna get in shape, I'm gonna make more money, I'm gonna start dating, find the love of my life, I'm gonna get into my dream university, I'm gonna do this, do that. But let's be honest, most people do not actually achieve their New Year's resolutions. And the next year the same thing happens. They set the same goals again and then they don't achieve those. The reason behind why this happens is because most people don't set goals. Instead, they just wish for things to happen. I mean, if you went up to most people and you were to ask them, would you like to make more money? Would you like to be in better shape? Would you like to have better relationships? Who would say no to that? But wanting to get in shape, wanting to make more money, wanting to find love, those are not goals, those are simply wishes. A financial goal would be something like, I want to make $1 million after tax every single year before I turn 30 years old. That's a clear and specific goal. You can measure it, and also it has a specific date limit. Now, sometimes you'll have a reason why you do things, but that reason is not strong enough to drive you to move forward, to take action every single day, and to take action to do the work, especially when it's the last thing you would rather do. Like if you wanted to start a business just so you can drive a Ferrari, splurge at the club, pay for the bottle for the entire table. Okay, that's nice, but in the real tough times, when you do the work but you don't get any results, when you need to persevere the most, to roll up your sleeves, to put your head down and to trust the process during those tough times, and trust me, they will happen no matter what you do in life. Unlike you see on social media, life is not perfect. It's not this fairy tale which always is amazing. You'll have tough times, but you'll also have great times. But during the tough times, that's when what you do matters the most, because it's easy to keep working, to do what you need to do when everything is going well. The real challenges, the real growth happens when things don't follow your plan and you have to adapt. And that is why a strong reason why you do things would be something like providing for your family, waking up every single morning in an environment that you love, a peaceful environment, knowing that you earn your freedom. You don't have a boss who orders you around and who clearly doesn't care about you. You can set your own schedule and do what you like. That's infinitely more motivating, more powerful than simply driving a nice car. And trust me, I love supercars, so that's coming from somebody who really likes those things. A lot of people overvalue money instead of valuing freedom, but freedom is priceless. process. Now, if you link your reason why you do things to someone else or to a group of people that you really love, it's going to be a lot easier to force yourself to do the boring work that you need to do when you least feel like doing it. Because let's be honest, we often say, oh, I'm going to get in shape, I'm going to lose some weight, I'm going to get up at 6 every morning. But how often do we stick to the promises that we make to ourselves? The truth is, not very often. And it's easy to let ourselves down. In fact, we do it every day. I mean, when you make a mistake, when you mess something up, just take a look at your self-talk. Are you encouraging yourself to do better, or are you treating yourself extremely harshly? Like, if you talk to a friend like that, they would hate you. They wouldn't be your friend anymore. Yet for some reason, we tolerate to treat ourselves so badly. And that is typically why, if your reason for doing things, it's a quote-unquote selfish reason, like it's only for you, it's only materialistic things. For example, when you're a bit sick, you feel a bit tired, you're really unmotivated, you're not going to do the work. Whereas if it's for the person that you love, if it's because you want to retire your parents, if it's because you want to provide for your family, now you can't let those people down. Now, the other reason why you procrastinate is because you don't understand how motivation works. A lot of people think that to get started, to get stuff done, they need to be motivated to do it before they get started. But oftentimes, the hardest part, it's sitting down at your desk and getting yourself to start doing the work, not actually doing the work. Because when you start working very quickly, you'll enter that state which we call the flow state, where time just flies by and you become one with the task at hand. And if you truly want to produce great, high quality work, you need to learn to enter a state of flow. And to do that, you need to remove all of the distractions around you. That's typically why I like to recreate the same type of environment. When I'm writing, I'm gonna close all doors, all windows, shut out all noises, all distractions, I turn off the notifications, my phone is out of sight so it's out of mind, and I'm going to put on some headphones, listen to binaural beats, and that's exactly how I get in the flow of writing. And I even go as far as having a specific playlist that I only use when I'm writing. But look, you have been lied about motivation. The truth is that motivation comes from seeing results, seeing progress from what you do. I mean, if you don't believe me, tell me this. Would you keep going to the gym, lifting weights every single day, if you hate the process and you get no results? Like, let's say it's been a year that you've been going to the gym. You hate doing it and you didn't get any results. You look exactly the same. You didn't lose any weight, you didn't build any muscle. Now tell me, after a year of gruesome work, for such little progress, in fact for no progress in that case, would you keep doing it? Unless you enjoy the activity itself and you are fine with making no progress, of course you won't. That would be madness. If you started your business 2 years ago, you haven't made a single sale. Honestly, how many people are going to quit in that situation? 99.9%, because it's extremely discouraging. I mean, oftentimes when we are passionate about something, it's because ironically we are naturally very good at that thing that we do. Now, speaking about the whole process to reaching your goals, the first step to getting rid of procrastination once and for all is to celebrate the small daily victories. A few years ago, someone told me that advice, and at the time I made a foolish mistake. I didn't take it really seriously, but little did I know that this is exactly the type of advice that would later on change my life. The truth is, I've always been extremely ambitious. Like, growing up, I was the most ambitious person I knew, and that is still even the case today. We often admire ambition, we see it as a quality, but the thing is, when you are really ambitious, it can be difficult to enjoy the present moment. It's extremely difficult to enjoy every small bit of progress that you make, because you're simply never satisfied. You always want more. You're always looking for the next goal, for the next big thing. I mean, top athletes are especially prone to this. No matter what championship they win, no matter what they manage to accomplish, they always want more. But at the same time, I learned one lesson the hard way. I needed to learn patience, because I wouldn't build an empire overnight. Everything I've been able to accomplish in my life, it took a lot of time. It took months and it took years most of the time, actually. You've got to realize that no man or woman, no matter how talented they are, built an overnight empire. That's simply not possible. And I mean, everything that is worth it to obtain in life, it's gonna be difficult to get it. The reason why making $10,000 a month, being free, being able to travel the world whenever you want, being able to buy nice cars, being able to go out to expensive restaurants and to pay the bill for your family, for the people that you love, the reason why those things are so precious and so coveted, it's because they're difficult to obtain. And the truth is, if that was the norm, we would all be looking for the next big thing. Now, step 2 to finally quit procrastination is to have fun. Like we've seen it, studies have shown that people who enjoy the process get much better results, and especially long term, than the people who drag their feet throughout the entire thing and who only care about the end outcome. If you hate the work that you do, if you hate going to the gym and exercising every single day, honestly, how long are you actually going to stick with it? Now, I'm not saying that you need to love every single thing about what you do, because again, that's not possible. That's black and white thinking, and this will never lead you to a satisfying outcome. There are nuances in everything in life. So while you will always hate some parts of the work, some parts of what you do, as much as you can, make the rest of it extremely fun. Because if you genuinely enjoy what you do, you enjoy the activity itself, you'll keep doing it because you find enjoyment in it. But because you enjoy it, then you'll keep doing it, so you won't quit. And guess what you need to become successful in any field in life? life. You need to persevere for months and even for years. But that's not possible to do if you hate what you do. Now the third step is that you want to have the unshakable confidence that you can and that you will succeed, no matter what. Honestly, I'll tell you one thing right now. If you have big goals in life, you need to believe in those goals more than anyone else ever will. Because the people around you, no matter how much they love you, they'll never believe in your vision as much as you believe in it yourself. It's your goals, so it's your responsibility to reach your goals, and if you want other people to believe in you, to believe in your goals, you need to give them a reason as to why they should. I genuinely believe that most people severely underestimate the power that belief has in our lives. Studies have been done with some rats. They were put into some kind of cylinders filled up with water. The rats were led to believe that they could escape and survive through some kind of a trapdoor located at the bottom of the cylinder. Now the first group of rats died extremely quickly, within a matter of minutes in fact. Why, you may ask? Because they were hopeless. They didn't believe that they could survive, so they gave up. What was the point of fighting if they couldn't win? Now the researchers took another group of rats and saved them right before they were about to die. Then they put those same rats back in the cylinders, and then guess what happened? The rats swam for over 60 hours, and one of those rats even went as far as swimming up to 80 hours non-stop. So how come that's possible? How come the first group of rats just gave up so quickly? And how come the other group fought extremely hard for 60 hours with no breaks? The only reason why that's been possible is because those rats in the second group had the belief that they could and would be saved. Because after all, if it happened once, it could happen twice. And that is typically why making your first online sale is going to be life-changing. Because when you realize that you've made a sale, now your brain becomes open to the possibility that you could make another, and then the next one. If you sign a customer, why couldn't you sign 2? Why couldn't you sign 5? Your beliefs will dictate your reality. If you believe that you're unattractive and that you can't get a date, guess what? You'll make that happen. Because now you won't even risk going to talk to a stranger. You won't even risk asking someone out. Because you'll think, oh, it's doomed anyway. I'm too unattractive. I can't do this. The same thing is true in business. If you believe that for some reason you can't become wealthy, that for some reason you can't become successful, either you won't start or you'll give up halfway. But in reality, you never know how close you are to that big breakthrough moment. For all you know, you quit one day before you were about to sign your first customer for $2,000 per month. Now, step number 4 is to set a specific time limit. And the reason why we want to do this is because of Parkinson's law. Parkinson's law states that work expands so as to fill the time allotted for its completion. So in plain and simple English, what this means is that the longer you allow yourself to finish a task, the longer it's going to take you. I mean, university students are especially subject to Parkinson's law. They will often get started on their assignments just a couple days before it's actually due. And sometimes they will only get to work just a few hours before it's due. Again, this comes back to what we just talked about, to belief. Most of the time, we seriously underestimate our capacities, what we can achieve. So really, you would be surprised to discover that you can push so much more than what you thought. Your limits are oftentimes more in your head than you imagine. Studies have been done and have discovered that people in the gym, they can often do 5 more reps than what they think. So it's like they do 1 more rep, they think they can't push anymore. In reality, they're nowhere near their physical limit. They could do 5 more reps. And if you don't believe me, try to do as many push-ups as you can. Then take as much rest as you need and do 5 again. See, you could do 5 more. And it might seem like nothing, but 5% more every single day at the end of the year, you have made a huge amount of progress. So what are you waiting for? Now it's time for you to kick procrastination in the face.